Good evening and welcome to KMTV. I'm Andy Richards, your top stories tonight. 100 million in cash for Paramount project, body found in Gillingham, and it's sweets for new baby girls. Well, first this evening, a Chinese firm has pledged to invest £100 million into plans for a huge entertainment resort in Kent. Ben Kennedy has more.
Spectacular shows, thrilling rides and a mythical castle could form part of a major tourist attraction proposed to be built in Kent. In just 6 years' time, this rather barren marshland is set to become a £3.2 billion entertainment resort designed to compete with the likes of theme park giants such as Disneyland Paris. Today, the backing of £100 million from a Chinese investor is set to make that dream one step closer to reality. If approved, London Paramount would take up more than 1,300 acres at the Swanscombe Peninsula, just west of Gravesend. The complex would host more than 50 rides in its leisure core, including a water park, as well as a creative business hub helping to generate 27,000 new jobs and a hotel. But with 50,000 people expected to flood to the small town, how will residents cope with the change?
General roads around here, in the town as well as all around it, are chock-a-block. Having the people around will liven up all the business. We'll get more shops opening up and things like this to satisfy that, and it gives everyone a chance of more jobs in the area. But it's got to be done in the right manner by talking to local people.
Last month, the opening date was pushed back for a second time to 2021. The plans will now be submitted to government in mid-2016. Ben Kennedy, KMTV, Swanscombe.
A man has been found dead in Vinyl Park in Gillingham. The body was discovered by a woman living nearby at around 8:15 p.m. yesterday. Police are not treating the death as suspicious though. An inquest has heard today how two medical students who were fatally stabbed in Borneo were unlawfully killed. Newcastle University students Aidan Brunga from Gillingham and Neil Dalton from Derbyshire were killed in Borneo in August last year. Aidan Brunga was undergoing an 8-week medical training programme as part of his medical degree, which can be done anywhere in the world. Now a campaign has been set up to promote gender equality in the South Asian community across the UK. Kieran Kaur reports.
Imagine being made to feel your daughters aren't enough and your family will only be complete when you have a son. That's exactly how father of two Satman from Gravesend has felt, because he's a dad to girls and not boys. Within the South Asian community, that can sometimes be a common occurrence because traditionally women are often seen as moving on into another family when they get married, whereas it's seen to be a man's duty to continue the family name and take any assets with him into the next generation.
I never really thought twice about, the fact I've had girls and not boys, but it's just sometimes a few comments from maybe the older generations of relatives and friends of the family who would say, no, are you going to try for the third child? And I said, why do we need a third child? We've got 2 kids already and they're very expensive. But they were saying, are you going to go for the boy? The boy is the pinnacle of an Asian family, where I never really thought of it that way, but that subtle sort of language, you start thinking yourself, well, maybe we should have a boy.
Gravesend's an area known for its large South Asian community. As with everyone else, the newborn baby's a time of happiness, but some families don't see it as a time for celebration if that baby's a girl. Indian sweets are often bought and sent out to mark the arrival of a boy, and daughters are still at times forgotten. But a campaign's been launched to help try and change that. It involves pink sweets being handed out to help put a stop to gender discrimination. And I'm in one Gravesend store who are supporting it so much so that they've lined their shelves with them.
Historically, the birth of baby boys have been celebrated more than the birth of baby girls, and this is one of those breakthroughs that we want to turn around and to have families celebrate the birth of baby girls as well as the birth of baby boys.
This is Kieran Kaur in Gravesend for KMTV.
And before we go, a look at the weather. It's going to be a cloudy evening with highs of 10 degrees in Maidstone and Margate. Tomorrow there'll be rain in most parts of the county with expected temperatures of 12. Have a great evening. Good night.